5 where winning is everything. Mets finish off their homestand. They've gone 4-1 so far, trying to grab a series from the Yankees. First pitch coming up. The 30th year of interleague play, and at least recently, the Mets have gotten the better of the Yankees, particularly here at Citi Field, where the Mets have beaten the Yankees 13 of the last 18. Trying to take the rubber game of the series today. Hyundai starting lineup for the Yankees, same lineup they went with in Game 1 of the series, other than the catcher, J.C. Escarra. So that gets Ryan McMahon and Spencer Jones back in the lineup after sitting yesterday against the lefty.
Well, Toyota numbers for Freddie Peralta. He started one other time against the Yankees. That was opening day of last season. You can't talk about Freddie's year without talking about how well he's done with runners in scoring position.
He only allowed 2 runs in 5 innings in that game, despite the torpedo bats. First pitch of the game is a fastball in for a strike, and we're underway. Rest of that series, the Yankees strafed the Brewers, and it led to that whole controversy about whether the torpedo bat should be legal. And then no talk about that since. Trent Grisham fouls one off, and it's 0-2.
And your CarShield Metropolitan defense, the defensive positioning has been kind of solidified with the call-up of Ewing and Benj out there in center and right field. Vientos has been playing every day at first base. Beatty is back to his familiar position at third. So things have kind of solidified defensively for the Mets.
So nice to be 3 in the booth. You know, since you redid your contract, you're only doing 3-man booth once a month.
Speak for yourself. Nice to see you, Ron.
Yes.
Garrett.
And not coincidentally, it's 81 degrees. The summer has arrived. Rolled out to Semien, and he takes care of Grisham for the first out of the day. Well, the Yankees had a stretch where they won 15 of 17, but since then they've lost 7 of 10. Judge and Rice have been the bellwethers of the Yankee offense. They lead the American League in runs per game. They lead the major leagues in home runs. There's Aaron Boone.
They lead in a lot of categories offensively, Garrett.
So here's Rice, who's had a breakout season. He had a good year last year in his first full big league season. Hit 26 home runs. He's having a great year over the first quarter plus of this season. 27-year-old Dartmouth grad, just a 12th round draft pick out of college in 2021. And he takes the changeup down from Peralta 1-1.
First secondary pitch that Peralta has thrown.
Freddie's been extremely fastball heavy his last couple of starts. 67% against Colorado, 69% against Detroit. I have a feeling he's going to mix in more secondary weapons today.
It'll just be the opposite today. You'll see a lot of changeups. He's going to have to establish that pitch against the left-handers and also judge. If he does have a weakness, it might be the right-handed change.
And Rice gets the breaking ball. Semien to his left, snags, 2 out.
Simeon's got such a sure glove, good hands. He is a fine fielder. Last year won the Gold Glove, and he's showed it all year. He has really played splendidly at second base.
Well, if you're Freddie Peralta, this is the way you want to face Aaron Judge with the bases empty. Judge is 3 for 8 in this series. 16 home runs, which is now second in the American League. Came into the weekend with the league lead, but the irrepressible Munetaka Murakami hit 2 yesterday for the White Sox and now has 17.
Wow, 3-time MVP.
How about that? And a batting title and a Rookie of the Year.
Some say he should have won the one in 17 or 18.
Against Altuve?
Yep.
And just nothing like him. It really hasn't been. I think he's, if not, or he's in the top 5 of the greatest players in the history of this game. With unquestionably.
He would have more than 3 MVPs had Ohtani not been in the same league. That's right. For a while. Now with Ohtani in the other lead, Judge has more of a clear field. Well, there's the highest OPSs in American League history.
Everybody forgets about Jimmy Fox.
Peralta misses outside at 97, 3-1.
You know, Keith, you were talking about big players. If you just do it mathematically, mass times acceleration, he's a big man who delivers a velocity punch to the ball.
6'7", 280. And the breaking ball fouled back.
Got away with a hanger there.
So he makes a lot of ballparks look tiny.
Each of the last 4 years, he's had an OPS over 1,000. And he's over 1,000 so far this year.
And you know what? He's a gentleman and such a credit to the game.
Peralta's 3-2. And that just missed. And the 3-2 changeup, and Judge is aboard with a 2-out walk.
Just missed. I think it's starting to settle in, Gary Ron. Let's see if it missed inside. Oh, that had a corner. I think the catchers now are getting a little gun shy going to the ABS to challenge early in the game.
I think they called that low.
Yeah, he's 6'8", remember.
What is it? 27% of your height is the bottom of the strike zone. It's a lot higher for Judge than it is for most guys. Jeremy Rehak calling the balls and strikes today. Cody Bellinger hitting cleanup. 1 for 10 in this series. There's an umpiring crew. Rehak behind the plate. And Sonia, the crew chief. Adam Beck and Jonathan Parra, the rookie umpire who had the plate last night, is at third. Behind 2-0. And now 3-0 to Bellinger. I was shocked when I looked down today and looked at Bellinger's bio and realized he's only 30. Seems like he's had a much longer career. Former MVP in Los Angeles. That was 7 years ago. And a 4-pitch walk to Bellinger, so the Yankees have back-to-back walks and 2 men on.
Well, I think it's a mantra here is that you're going to have Chaz Chisholm beat you, not the 2 big guys.
Jazz has come alive just the last few days. Got off to a terrible start, but he's 6 for 12 in his last 3 games.
I noticed the old school, real old school baggy pants.
Well, those are Giancarlo Stanton's pants that Jazz is borrowing. He feels comfortable in the bagginess. I mean, those would just about fit Giancarlo's thighs.
Yeah, they're tight. They're tight on Stanton.
Giancarlo's out with a calf injury. So Chisholm borrowing his pants and trying to replicate his bat. And a good change up there by Peralta, and it's 1-1.
Well, Jazz has stated he wants to be 50 home runs, and he has been swinging a lot of pitches out of the strike zone.
He had a 30-30 season last year. His numbers are way down from that. And he takes a strike on the inside corner with a slider, and it's 1-2.
Peralta really dropped down on that slider. Nice and tight.
Judge at second, Bellinger at first with 2 down. And Chisholm takes breaking ball down, and it's 2-2.
This is more breaking pitches from Peralta in this first inning than you've seen in the last 2 starts. Nice job by Senger to cushion it and keep it in front of him.
Opposing hitters are 3 for 40 this year against Peralta with runners in scoring position, and that's not a one-off. Since 2021, the batting average against Peralta with runners in scoring position is 198, which is the best among major league starters.
0 for their last 14 with that number, Gary.
Chisholm taking a long time.
2 out, 2 on, 2-2 to Chisholm, and he got him with the fastball upstairs. Peralta negotiates the first inning around a couple of walks. That's come to bat in the bottom of the first with no score. Made a home in that leadoff spot. Juan Soto's come alive, hitting in the 3-hole. A.J. Ewing stays down near the bottom of the order as the Mets go up against rookie right-hander Elmer Rodriguez.
On Mother's Day, I got to watch Elmer Rodriguez pitch in a AAA game. He's tall, lanky, guy throws across his body, sinker slider to right-handed hitters, curveball sinker to the left-handed hitters.
Bench is 3 for 8 in this series. All 3 hits came yesterday. And a drop fly ball in the outfield, and he came back the next half inning and got a leadoff hit. And that pretty much sums up Carson Bench. He's made mistakes, but nothing seems to faze him.
He has shown a lot of resilience, that is for sure.
In the last 12 games, hitting .386. And he skies this one foul down the left side, and that'll go out of play. 2-1. Elmer Rodriguez, just 22 years old, drafted by the Red Sox in 2021, traded for the catcher Carlos Narvaez after the 24 season. Had a very nice year in the Yankees farm system last year, off to a great start in AAA this year, and now making his 3rd big league start. He's had trouble with walks in the first 2. And Bench just went toward the hole. Volpe on the backhand, a warning throw, and a nice play by Volpe to get Bench for the first out.
Well, playing up the middle, Volpe here, he had to go with the backhand and no time to set himself with the speed of Bench. Throw on the run, and there's some good footwork at first base right there.
Gets to the back of the bag, right, Keith?
Yep, there you stride now. You got plenty of time to get. And that underhand throw or sidearm throw is going to sink back to the first baseman.
Here's Bo Bichette. The mystery of Bo Bichette continues to deepen. 2 hits in his last 34 at bats.
He really, if you watch, he rests that bat on his shoulder, back shoulder, and then he brings it around to his front shoulder. If you watch, he wraps it around his head.
He hits one on the ground to Volpe, plays this one on the backhand, and throws out Bichette. 2 batters, 2 ground balls to short, 2 out.
And the tri-state Chevy dealer Yankee defense. You've got McMahon at third base. Remember the former Rocky. He can pick it over there. Cody Bellinger out in left. A Gold Glover at first base, but terrific arm out in left field. And a lot of people say he is probably the best left fielder in the game.
Here's Juan Soto, who was on base 4 times yesterday. Bluffs the bunt and takes a strike. It was the 97th time that Soto has reached base 4 times in a game since he came up in 2018. That's by far the most in baseball. Second on the list is Judge with 83. Homered on Friday night. The only Met run in that game.
Yeah, that was right down the pipe, and you can't do that to Juan. They've really pitched him, I think, over carefully in this series. Sometimes you got to go after these guys.
Well, when the 1 year with the Yankees, he did so much damage. Maybe that's why.
You know, but no one's on base.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, go after him. That's the challenge, isn't it, Ron?
Well,
He pulls that one through the hole, and Soto just keeps on reaching base. That's now 7 straight plate appearances he's been on since that home run on Friday night.
you're right, Keith. It is a competition. But most of the time, he comes through and wins the competition.
Agreed. I mean, there is a time and a place to pitch around Juan. And he's just got that big stride. The back knee bends, almost hits the ground. And he has really great hip rotation, which you wouldn't think with that big stride.
Mark Vientos pops one up into shallow right center. Coming on quickly is Jones. He dives and makes the catch. Spencer Jones, the rookie, started back but came on strong. And he saves Elmer Rodriguez's bacon in the first inning. Another 6'7" guy.
Whether you're an athlete or
I'm probably fine. Probably.
we noticed something wasn't right and got her to a doctor.
I thought I was okay, but I had a concussion. Sometimes it's hard to tell.
Freddie Peralta faces Ryan McMahon as we start the second inning at Citi Field. And McMahon pops one a mile high behind third. Long run in for Melendez. And he gets there to put it away. 1 pitch, 1 out for Peralta. Well, we mentioned the Yankee offense. First in the American League in on-base percentage and slugging percentage and runs per game and home runs.
They're actually third in stolen bases in the American League here.
And this, the last 10 games, they've been a little quiet.
Yeah, they've averaged less than 3 runs per game during this 8-game stretch where they've gone 2 and 6. This is the rookie Spencer Jones. 35 home runs in the minor leagues last year, 11 more this year before he got his call up.
Got a loose helmet there. Helmet's bobbing and weaving on his swing. Hands out over the plate, open stance. Wow.
Looks very uncomfortable.
He's very strong, that's for sure.
When he initially takes that stance, it reminds you so much of Ohtani. But then he gets in that little bit of a squat. Right there, he looks like Ohtani.
25-year-old from Vanderbilt, first-round pick by the Yankees in 2022. And Peralta gets him with a curveball. Second strikeout for Freddie, 2 out of the inning.
Freddie's got a good curveball so far. He's establishing that breaking pitch, teases them, it's in the strike zone and out, and the changeup has been good as well.
So 2 out and nobody on. Now Anthony Volpe making his 4th start since coming back from first shoulder surgery and then a continued ticket in the minor leagues after his rehab was done. But Jose Caballero broke a finger, so Volpe got called up and getting another chance to play in what is now his 4th season with the Yankees, first 3 as the everyday shortstop.
He's a very aggressive hitter. Hasn't gotten a hit yet, but he's been able to get on base via the base on balls,
Which is a little shocking.
Yeah.
You know, 5 walks in this series. He's got a home run in his pocket against Peralta. Pops this one up in foul ground, and that'll sail out of play.
I always thought of Anthony Volpe when I watch him that I'm not sure that he knows whether he wants to be a guy that hits home runs or a guy that, you know, works the count and gets some walks and base hits. He's got a lot of power.
You know, he's a lifetime .222 hitter, .661 OPS, but I think what concerned the Yankees even more is the fact that his defense went backwards after he won a Gold Glove as a rookie. 1-2 coming. Up and in from Peralta.
I mean, I know talking to Aaron Boone, he thought he was going to be one of the elite shortstops in the game. He's going to have to work to get back there, although 2 fine plays already in this game.
J.C. Escaro would be next. And Volpe lines one into center field for the Yankees' first hit. That's going to beat Ewing and go back to the wall. And Volpe pulls in at second base with a 2-out double. His first hit of the season.
Well, that first hit was a bullet. Well, he got the barrel on it.
I don't remember Volpe being this stiff on the follow-through. Beautiful position there.
It's not much of a follow.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. It's not much of a follow-through at all.
Now J.C. Escara getting the start behind the plate after Austin Wells started the first 2 games. The Yankees are in an odd situation with their catchers in that they're both left-hand batters. You don't get that very often. Escara was a 30-year-old rookie last year. And he flies one out to center. Ewing got a late start, but he's back there in plenty of time to make the catch to retire the side. Double and 1 left. Middle of the second, no score. Beautiful shots today from the SNY drone of the full house at Citi Field on a gorgeous afternoon. Temperature up to 87 degrees.
Best day for us so far.
Oh, about time.
We got in here, and the first thing they did was turn the air conditioning on. And I told Russ, no, we want to be warm. MJ Melendez leads off in the home second. And Elmer Rodriguez misses low and end with a fastball. Melendez just 1 for his last 17 after a very hot start. Beatty and Semien to follow.
This young pitcher, 22 years old, still working on his craft. Base on balls is an issue. Getting behind is an issue so far.
Melendez clocks one out to center field, and Trent Grisham eases over. Side saddling against the sun, and he's got it 1 out. Around the majors presented by Jeep. This week in baseball, well, another Dodger pitcher hurt. What else? Christopher Sanchez went the distance, struck out 13 yesterday. Now is 29 2/3 scoreless innings. That's halfway to Hershiser. Rodolfo Duran with a home run for the Padres. Big news for the Padres today is Lucas Giolito makes his first start for San Diego. Here's Brett Beatty, who has really looked good the last couple of weeks. Last 24 games now, he's got a .388 on base percentage. He's got a 6-game hitting streak going. 3 for 7 in this series. And it seems to have coincided with his move back to third base.
That makes sense. You can always be when you're a little more comfortable at the position you're at. You're not used to playing someplace. That gives you anxiety.
Well, especially in Beatty's case, they were moving him around every day, whether it was first base or right field. Last year, second base. Grounds this one on the right side. Chisholm's got it. 2 away.
That's the first good changeup from Rodriguez. That was a good one.
So 2 out and nobody on. Now Marcus Semien, 1 for 7 in this series.
Marcus has had a tough run. He's shown signs, flashes of getting it back. Just really hasn't been consistent, but he has hit in the clutch. He's one of the few Mets that is batting over 300 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, he and Vientos are the 2. There's a slider out of the strike zone, a ball and a strike. Semien has started every game this year at second base. And true to his Gold Glove form, he's yet to make an error. And not just that, it's how comfortable he looks at second base.
Yeah, so steady.
He's just solid, Gare.
I mean, when the Mets decided that run prevention was going to be the mantra for this year, it's a big part of that. The Mets as a team are 8th in the majors in defensive runs saved. They were down near the bottom last year. Rolled toward third, charging McMahon, throwing on the run, got him by a stride, side retired. After 2, no score.
$10 for a large.
Visit MLBshop.com/Mets, the official source for your Mets gear. Second time around the order for Freddie Peralta. Trent Grisham leads off the third, hits the breaking ball on the ground at first. Easy play for Vientos, 1 pitch and 1 out. Spectrum high-speed pitching. I mentioned Freddie Peralta has gone much more heavily with his fastball the last couple of starts.
We'll see a different number this afternoon, certainly.
So far today he's at 56%, so a little bit low. 1 out and nobody on. Now Ben Rice, who grounded out to second base his first time up. And he gets tied up inside, ball 1. Rice started the day leading the American League in slugging percentage, 3rd in extra base hits, 2nd in runs scored. Really a breakout year for him.
A lot of the Yankees have open stances, but I find it a trend really in Major League Baseball where running back on our day there was more predominantly closed stances. So there's been a complete turnaround in today's game.
I always like when you talk about if you don't have a dominant eye, then you try to get two eyes on the pitcher.
Right. If your dominant eye is your back eye. So in Rice's case right here, his left eye, then if that's your dominant eye, then you want to open your stance.
Fly ball deep right center. Back in the gap goes Ewing near the wall, and it's out of here. Dan Rice strikes for his 15th home run of the year. And the Yankees jump in front 1-0.
Boy, he likes that ball down, boy, down middle end. That just sounded good off the bat. Well, they got the fat of the bat, full extension of the arms. They had too much plate. Yeah, made a mistake.
Just like he used to do it at Red Wall Field in Hanover.
That's right.
Well, the Yankees got such a large percentage of their offense from Rice and Judge. They've now hit 31 home runs between them. And Judge takes a fastball right there for a strike, 1-1. Judge drew a walk his first time up. Yankees have now hit 68 home runs this year. That's the most in the major leagues. And the two guys have nearly half of them. Big cut. 1-2.
Notice Judge is not closed nor open. He's pretty much square, front and back foot.
It's a slider out of the strike zone. 2-2. Cody Bellinger on deck. The home run, the 6th allowed by Peralta this year. This is his 10th start. And full count to Judge for the second straight at bat. But he walked 2 in the first inning. He walked Judge and Bellinger back to back with 2 out before he struck out Chisholm to get through that inning. 3-2 coming. And a high fly ball hit to right center. This one's playable. Benj eases back to make the catch. 2 out.
Another look at the Rice home run. You can see full extension of the arms and down. And it's full extension, meaning that ball has right down the middle, outer half. Too much plate.
High follow through as well.
Must have been doing a lot of celebrating.
Yeah.
With Cody Bellinger, who drew a walk his first time up.
Bellinger always a very straight up and down hitter, posture wise, like a telephone pole. He's straight up and down.
Right on the dish, though.
Yes, sir.
Bellinger had a really nice year for the Yankees last year. Hit 29 home runs, drove in 98, and then he was on the free agent market a long time before the Yankees re-signed him. Back comes Senger to the screen, and it just is beyond his reach. I think the Mets had some interest in Bellinger before they made the trade for Luis Robert.
Duck.
Cover that noggin.
I mean, you've got that screen in front of you, which protects you from the foul balls that come straight back, but not so much the pop-ups.
You're sitting in the front row. Come on, show something. Let's go.
It was a sun field.
Mantle used to catch that ball.
I mean, come on.
Well, he had his sunglasses on.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
If you're a Yankee fan and you buy a jersey, why would you buy a jersey with a name on it?
I know. It's already marred, right?
No names, of course.
And 7 kind of speaks for itself, does it not? As if, and 5 kind of speaks for itself.
Do we need to have the name?
Yes.
Like 41 for the Mets. You don't really need the name.
2-1 to Bellinger. And at his feet with a slider, it's 3-1. No names. And that's away, ball 4, and Bellinger's on for the second straight time. Third walk given up by Peralta.
That was interesting, guys. Peralta had the body language like he wanted Singer to challenge that. He thought that was a good pitch. But like the first inning, I think Singer is going to be less inclined to challenge a pitch because, you know, he doesn't have the experience of others.
You certainly don't want to be called up and make a wrong call.
Yeah.
Cost your team.
Well, especially early in the game.
Correct.
In a 2 out and nobody on situation.
But who has more experience with it than Hayden Singer, who's been in the minor leagues with the ABS system for years?
These Terrens getting the day off today. After catching the first 2 in this series. And now Peralta sprays that one outside, and he falls behind Chisholm 2-0. This is Singer's first time catching Peralta, at least during the regular season. And that barely missed.
I would have challenged that one. I thought that was a strike.
Interesting. Peralta's painting that, trying to paint that outside corner against left-hand hitters.
See if Chisholm's swinging 3-0. He takes ball 4. So for the second time already in this game, Peralta walks back-to-back hitters.
I think a lot of it has to do too. Jeremy Rehak usually is a pitcher-friendly umpire, so of course Peralta would know that. So expecting maybe a little more aggressive call on pitches close, but he hasn't gotten it so far.
One brought swagger to Shea, the other brought belief back to Queens. Lee Mazzilli and Bobby Valentine share the stories behind their memories on Mets Hall of Fame Class of 2026, premieres Tuesday after the postgame show, only on SNY.
That's a nice shot. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Right from on top of the scoreboard.
That is a fine view of the infield.
So a big batter for Peralta, already down 1-0. He faces Ryan McMahon, who flied out his first time up. 2 out, 2 on. It's been a struggle offensively for McMahon since he left Colorado. Right now he's in an 0 for 20 skid. But he certainly brings the glove. Bellinger at second, Chisholm at first with 2 out. And Peralta's behind 2-0 again.
This is a team that you're not going to get to go out of the strike zone. They are deliberate, discerning about the strike zone, and they will work you.
Yankees have the 4th lowest chase rate of any team in the majors. And now 3-0 to McMahon.
Boy, Peralta thinks that's a strike.
Yeah, he does.
Just missing. Ronnie, if that's missing, it's not missing by much.
That's 10 straight out of the strike zone, at least according to Jeremy Rehak. And there's a strike, 3-1.
I will tell you though, Keith, there are some days you think it's a strike, but you are missing by just that tiny amount and can never make the adjustment.
'25th pitch of the inning now for Peralta. And a ground ball for Semien to handle. So Peralta gets around the walks, but the home run by Ben Rice puts the Yankees in front 1-0. Home 3rd inning, Mets down 1-0. A.J. Ewing will lead off against Elmer Rodriguez. View from the party deck out in left field. Ewing 1 for 7 in this series. And takes a curveball for a strike from the 22-year-old Elmer Rodriguez facing the 21-year-old A.J. Ewing. Youth shall be served. And that's lined up middle, a base hit for Ewing.
He's got a quick back, Keith.
Yes, he does. I like his swing very much. And he hangs in there against left-handers. Right down the middle. Belt high. And he's a line drive hitter. That one home run he hit was a line drive to right field.
So the Mets have their second hit. Now Hayden Singer pops up the bunt attempt. And Rodriguez grabs it for the out.
You know, they've done that a couple times with Singer, and to me it begs the question, I don't know if he's doing it on his own. The one thing he did show in AAA is that he had an increase in power, but I guess they're trying to stay away from the double play.
Early in the game,
Yeah,
I gotta think that maybe he's doing. I gotta think he's doing it on his own. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's Carson Bench with Ewing at first and 1 out. And Carson takes the fastball outside for ball 1. Bench at a ground to short. Volpe made a nice play coming in and to his right to throw him out. Last 12 games, 983 OPS for Bench. And he was down in the 130s for the first month of the season. Now he's up to 245 starting today, 243 now.
After 21 games, 136.
I mean, what a turnaround.
That's a nice stretch he's got going.
There goes Ewing.
Good jump.
And no throw by Escara. And Ewing's got his second stolen base.
Well, has this been the difference for young Benj? Look at the open stance early in the season when he was starting. Now look at the alteration, the change, the adjustment, whatever you want to call it. And it's been very successful for him.
He's got a runner in scoring position now with 1 out. And he lofts that one behind third base. McMahon called off by Volpe, and Volpe's got it, 2 out. So an RBI chance for Bo Bichette. Grounded out to short his first time up. Bichette has now gone 17 straight games, including today, without an extra base hit. That's 64 at bats. That's almost unfathomable.
Bichette has always been kind of an inside-out hitter, but the difference this year is that his bat angle is really 45 degrees, and he's been under everything. And pitches that he should hit, he's fouling back or swinging under and missing.
What do you make of that?
I mean, I would get him in BP and say, I just get on top, focus on the top half of the ball. No change in his swing. I mean, he's got a resume. This is the way he's hit, but he's just under everything. And so focus on, I don't want any fly balls in BP. I want line drives, top half of the ball, until you get it back.
You know, funny you say that, Keith. I was looking at an old scouting report that I used to do TV about Bichette. And he was, with 2 strikes, he's always going to go to right field. Quickest bat in baseball if you try to come in on him. So he has changed it to me where he's going to right field from the initial pitch. There's no pull in his game.
And what's been especially stark has been the numbers against fastballs. 518 OPS against fastballs. That's the 3rd lowest of any qualified hitter in the majors. It just doesn't compute. And has always been a good fastball hitter. 2-1 from Rodriguez. And that's on the outside corner. Bichette didn't think so, but does not challenge the call, and it's 2-2.
I think a lot of it, too, remember, we got human beings out there playing. No matter if you're a veteran or not, when you're struggling like that, you get your confidence shook a little bit, and balls that you should hit. Don't think that Bo doesn't know that.
A flare foul.
And he's been, he's been letting the ball get deep, and maybe because he got off to the bad start, he's being cautious. Excuse me. And I could be dead wrong.
Well, it's that much more glaring with the Mets missing half of their starting lineup. Along with Soto, this is a guy who's got to get going. Hit toward short, right at Volpe, makes sure of it, and then throws out Bichette to end the inning. After 3, 1-0 Yanks. 4th inning, 1-0 Yankees. Spencer Jones leads off against Freddie Peralta. And Jones goes after a first pitch slider and misses, 0-1. Jones struck out on 3 pitches his first time up, and a couple of hits in the opening game of the series. And he goes after the slider again, and it's 0-2.
Well, I can tell you right now, the Mets book on this young man Jones is breaking stuff. They've just fed him now 2 at bats, nothing but the wrinkle.
Still looking for his first big league home run. And he takes that slider down, 1-2. 35 in the minors last year, 11 more this year before his call up, and not only 35 home runs last year, but 29 stolen bases. Big guy who can run. You saw that on that sliding catch he made in right field.
Very interesting, from the squat to upright. With that front foot too, like Soto's, when he comes out of that squat.
I feel like he never gets closed, though. You know, pitching and hitting, at some point that front shoulder's got to get closed. He can't be open, and he seems open when he attacks the ball.
He's a big guy, and if you make a mistake, he's going to hit it a long way. It's very peculiar right there. Unorthodox. A better word.
Peralta, after getting ahead with breaking stuff, trying to put him away with fastballs and just run the count full. Freddie's already walked 4. He only averages 3.5 walks per 9 innings. Volpe on deck. And a swing and a miss. Got him with a slider. Second time Jones has been struck out moments ago. Steve Gilbs caught up with Mets manager Carlos Mendoza.
Carlos, such a gut punch of an interview of an injury Friday night with Clay Holmes. What did your team show you bouncing back the way that they did yesterday?
Resilient, you know. It wasn't easy for us. We felt it. You know, it's been a while since I've been in a clubhouse. It was quiet. And then yesterday, the way they showed up throughout the day, just understanding the situation and the responsibility that we have, and also the 26 guys that we got in there. We have a job to do, and you know, we go out there, and it was a pretty good ball game, and I'm glad that we were able to get the job done.
You know Aaron Boone about as well as anybody in this game. Do you manage the game any differently, maybe anticipating things that he may do in a way that you don't know other managers quite the same?
Well, I think I don't think it's more like the managers and the strategies. You got a pretty good sense of around the league, you know, who you're managing against. I think it's just more like the understanding of the players, and you know, some of the things that I know who they are on and off the field, that maybe in that regard. But when it comes down to managing the game, like, we both know we have a pretty good idea, and it's just fun.
All right, Carlos Mendoza, thanks so much for the time. Good luck the rest of the way. You got it, Steve.
All right, thanks, Steve, and thanks to Mendy as Volpe goes down on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts for Peralta.
Well, it's great to have his thoughts, especially on the clubhouse, things we wouldn't necessarily know about. And talking about Aaron Boone, it's interesting because Keith and I both competed against Aaron's dad, Bob Boone. More and more starting to look like Bob, right behind those sunglasses.
Yes.
J.C. Escarra takes a slider for a strike.
So I go a long way back with the Boone family. My father played with Ray Boone, the grandfather of Aaron, in Oklahoma City in the Texas League. Way back, I believe, in 1947.
I thought it was interesting, though, listening to Mendy after the game Friday, before the game yesterday, and even after the game yesterday, talking about how with all the injuries the Mets have had, and they've had some really devastating injuries, Lindor for the long term, Alvarez for the long term, that Holmes's injury hit harder than any of the others.
To me, it was like in '87 when Ronnie went down in September. And, you know, you just have to come to the park and you have to just dig in. And what are you going to do? Got to play. Go out there and get them.
First 1-2-3 inning of the day for Peralta, 1-0 Yankees.
Summer's here.
Well, the injuries have been ubiquitous for the Mets this year. Juan Soto hurt his calf in San Francisco. That cost him 3 weeks. Francisco Lindor hurt his calf, coming home to score a run. He's out for a long time. Francisco Alvarez will miss 2 months after tearing his meniscus on that swing. And of course, Holmes just the other night fractured fibula.
Wow.
Jorge Polanco, it's not really his wrist. His wrist is fine, but he's got the Achilles tendonitis, which is keeping him from coming back. It's mostly a matter of pain tolerance. Senga's begun to throw. Robert isn't doing much. Mauricio broke his thumb, so that's going to be a little while. Nobody appears to be on the immediate horizon in terms of returning. So that means a lot more pressure on Juan Soto and Bo Bichette as the veteran players in this lineup to get it done. Soto, with a base hit his first time up, has reached base safely 7 straight plate appearances. Only one time in his career has he had a longer stretch. That was in 2021 with Washington. He had 12 straight plate appearances where he reached base safely. And takes the curveball from Rodriguez for a strike.
Young man's got a nice little hook.
Yes, he does.
Mark Vientos on deck, and then MJ Melendez for the Mets in the 4th. And Soto takes an inside fastball for a strike, and it's 1-2.
Soto did something I very rarely see him do. He took the first pitch. He's always ready to hit.
Paul Blackburn, former Met, chatting it up through the fence.
No fraternizing in game.
Yeah, right.
Whatever.
Okay, Boomer. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Soto.
They put those bullpens right back to back there. They're just inviting for them to have a little tea and crumpets if they want in game.
Long hold by Rodriguez. And Soto foul tips it for strike 3. So Elmer Rodriguez and Soto's string of 7 straight plate appearances on base with his first strikeout of the day.
That was a really good use of the pitch clock by the 22-year-old. He waited and almost got Soto in cement in that batter's box finally before striking him out.
There's Mark Vientos waving at a slider out of the strike zone. Well, we talked about the Mets injuries. The Yankees lost Max Fried this week with a bruised elbow, and not quite sure how long he'll be out. They should get Garrett Cole back fairly soon, maybe one more rehab start. And so for the moment, Elmer Rodriguez is the glue in the Mets in the Yankees rotation. Vientos finds the hole on the right side. He's got himself a base hit.
There's that opposite middle infielder playing up the middle, leaving that kind of hole open. I mean, this is right where traditionally where the second baseman would be playing, maybe a little bit more up the middle.
Yeah, but think of all the up the middle hits they take away.
What it does, yes, but what it does to a pitcher is that you can't throw that fastball in the outside corner. You have to get it in. The defense like that.
Well, we talked with David Cohen was there. I asked David, I said, particularly with a runner on first, right-hand hitter, would you like that right side of the infield exposed with the second baseman up the middle? He said, definitely not. He was emphatic.
1-1 to MJ Melendez, who flied to center his first time up. Elmer Rodriguez, in the last 19 years, only the 3rd Yankee starter to make his debut at 22 years or younger. Melendez skies one to center. Should be easy for Grisham. 2-time Gold Glover, side saddles it and has it 2 out. Interestingly, the other 2 were Davy Garcia. He made his debut against the Mets.
20. I think he was 20 years old.
And Luis Severino, who made his debut against the Red Sox. And now Rodriguez making his debut against the Mets. So all those young guys making their debut against the Yankees' biggest rivals.
Yep.
2 out now, Beatty. Of course, we had that game in was it 2014 where DeGrom and Chase Whitley made their big league debut in the same game?
Well, Montero, how old was he when he pitched game 1 of that doubleheader?
Beatty lines one up the middle, and that's in for a base hit. Vientos pulls in at second, so Brett Beatty's now had a hit in 7 straight games, and the Mets have 2 on with 2 out.
A little soft liner, doesn't it? Toward the end of the bat a little bit.
So a chance for Marcus Semien.
Oh, we got in on him a little bit on the label.
Marcus grounded out his first time up, but as Keith remarked earlier, he's done very well with runners in scoring position. .326 this year.
Yeah, 14 for 43 to be exact. It's right there.
And Marcus takes one the other way. That's going to be down for a base hit. In comes Vientos with the tying run. Beatty will be held at third. Semien slides in safely at second with an RBI double. And the Mets have tied the game. It's 1-1.
First ball, fastball hitting here and going the opposite field on top of the, oh, it's right down the pipe. And his intention was to go in that direction, and there you have it. And Jones threw the ball to second base here, and really should have. It was an automatic double. You got to hit the cutoff man.
Beatty had already been held at third by Tim Leeper.
You can't anticipate the throw going to the wrong player.
I mean, that was one of those instances, certainly not with Beatty. But if you had real speed on the bases, Leeper could have sent him home once that ball was on its way to second.
Come a little further down the line, let him take the turn. Matt Blake, the pitching coach, out to talk to his rookie right-hander. A.J. Ewing with a chance to get the Mets the lead. Ewing had a base hit to center his first time up.
They're probably telling him that Singer is in the on-deck circle.
To me, if you're going to do that, then you walk Ewing and just pitch to Sanger.
Yes. Why? Because you've got a young pitcher out there, not a polished control pitcher, a veteran that would, through experience, knows how to pitch around a hitter.
Well, we saw the danger of a wild pitch for the Yankees yesterday. A Rodon wild pitch and subsequent error that cost them the Mets' first 2 runs. Up and away to Ewing, a ball and a strike.
So that was just for show. Slider, fastball away. Probably come back with another breaking ball.
Ewing has shown really a good knowledge of the strike zone right from day one, which has really impressed me.
Just his 6th big league game. He's already driven in 3 runs. He's got 2 in scoring position, and that's away from the changeup, and it's 2-1. Rodriguez had it all his own way for the first 3 innings. But he's given up 3 hits in a run. The lefty Ryan Yarbrough up in the Yankee bullpen. And Ewing spits on that one, and it's 3-1.
Incredible amount of patience at the plate for his age and experience.
He's had 400 on base percentages everywhere he's gone. 3-1 from Rodriguez, and he threw him a breaking ball for a strike, 3-2. So clearly, he's not going to be challenging Ewing in this spot.
Well, he wasn't going to give him a fastball.
Three-two coming. Outside, ball 4, and now the bases are loaded. So certainly a pitch around on the part of Omar Rodriguez, and now Singer gets an opportunity with the bases full.
But 6 pitches instead of no pitches.
Right?
Singer tried to sacrifice his first time up and popped it up. Hayden had a much more successful minor league run at the plate this year. 6 home runs in 22 games for Syracuse. Bases loaded, 2 out. And Singer swings and misses at a first pitch fastball, 0-1.
Good sinker right there.
Bellinger incredibly shallow in left field, but he's so good he can play that shallow.
Seen him make some remarkable catches going back, including one in this series. Beatty at third, Semien at second, Ewing at first. Good speed all the way around. And Senger hits a slow ground ball to short. Volpe with time to wait and throws out Senger, side retired. So the Mets get a run, but Rodriguez leaves them loaded, 1-1 after 4. You know, they say that New York is a melting pot. All sorts of people from all sorts of places, different races, different religions, all living together. There's no more of a contrast than between the Met fan and the Yankee fan.
It's my favorite part of this Subway Series, is that people from the same household or people that are best friends have alternate allegiances.
Sometimes on purpose.
It is unique.
Third time around the batting order for Freddie Peralta, with the Mets having drawn even. Trent Grisham takes outside. Grisham 0 for 2 today, 1 for 11 in this series. Last year, Grisham had a great year, 34 home runs, 811 OPS. The Yankees gave him the qualifying offer, which I think surprised a lot of people, and he quickly snapped it up.
Well, I think that surprised him too, that he scooped it up and took it.
And so far this year, the numbers have not been nearly what they were last year. Always been a tremendous defender, even though his introduction to the National Baseball audience was making a key error in a postseason game for the Brewers.
I thought this ball was up. How about you, Keith? Up.
And it was indeed well up.
The call is confirmed. New York has one challenge remaining.
You know what worries me about the ABS, Garen, is that they measure each player individually, knees and letters. So challenging a pitch at the knees or at the letters, everybody's different. It would be kind of scary to make that kind of a corners. Okay, you know, you're a catcher, you see the corners.
Yeah, how do you know 27 inches or 53.5 inches?
Yeah, exactly. Who did the measurement?
3-1 to Grisham with the big guys next. Fly ball out to left, chasing Melendez back. He's got room, and he makes the catch. Couple of steps from the wall, 1 out. That's a big out for Peralta with Rice and Judge coming in.
You know, when you think of Freddie Peralta, his two big pitches, fastball and his changeup, 36 degree arm angle on the left on the fastball, 26 degrees on the right side of the changeup. Hand position more on top of the ball on the left, underneath, or at least on the side of the ball on the right. I'm wondering, I guess it doesn't. He was 17-6 with a 2.70 last year.
Rice hits one deep to center, but Ewing will have room this time. 2 out.
But does that give away those pitches? I mean, obviously not. We can show that, and that is a distinct difference. But it depends on when you can pick it up as a hitter. Some guys, you just don't see that.
Well, one thing that Freddie does that I notice against the right-handers is that when Freddie's, obviously he's right-handed. When he's out here, he throws that sweeper out here, not always the circle. He has that sweeper too, and he throws that dart fastball on the outside corner to left-handers. So, to me, all three of those pitches, if I'm a right-hand hitter, they're going to be away. If I can tell the difference out of his hand, then I'm going to go, okay, I'm looking away.
Sell out away?
I'm going to sell out away. Well, not sell out. Drive it. Look for a way to drive it.
1-1 to Judge. Well, even if you don't consciously see the difference in arm angle as a hitter, is there some subliminal thought that when you see it clicks in that it's that pitch? We always used to say it's Western Union, and I remember in the minor leagues, Ron, and I'm sure you do too, the pitching coaches in the minor leagues, if they had a pitcher that altered his delivery, they corrected that right away, and it just wasn't in the big leagues. 3-1 to Judge, and he swings through the fastball, 3-2. Well, they talk about tunneling.
Yes.
Tunneling is all about releasing everything from the same spot. Walked and flied out. Mets have kept him in the ballpark in this series. He's gone 3 for 9 in the 3 games. Three-two from Peralta, and Judge pops it up. Bichette waits for it to come down. Sign retired. 7 in a row retired by Peralta. Halfway through, 1-1.
At the meet.
4th, 5th inning recount. Freddie Peralta gave up a Ben Rice home run, but the Mets got even on Marcus Semion's RBI double. And that's where we stand, 1-1 as we start the bottom of the 5th. Third time around the order for the rookie Elmer Rodriguez. Impressive bench takes one way outside. It's 2-0.
Got away from him.
Bench is grounded to short, popped to short, 0 for 2. Bichette and Soto to follow. Yankees 1 run, 2 hits. The Mets 1 run and 5 hits. Bench takes a borderline strike on the inside, 2-1.
I always felt, Gary, leading off an inning, if I got ahead in the count 2-0, I'm leading off an inning with the bats behind me at top of the order, that they don't want to walk me. I was going to get a fastball, 2-0, 3-1. I always felt that.
You know, Rehak, the home plate umpire, his strike zone was very small to start the game, but he's really kind of tapped into that fastball, especially inside to the lefty. His face mask, face, eyes right on that spot.
Oh, way in, and it hits Bench. And he's aboard.
He didn't want to do that.
The 3rd batter that Rodriguez has hit in his 3 big league starts, and the Mets have the go-ahead run aboard.
Interesting, the catcher was set up away, too. And he missed on the extreme opposite side of the plate.
That's Nick Carson on the wrist. See if Bench can get a read on Rodriguez. 8 steals in 9 tries. Bo Bichette, the batter. Bo is twice grounded out to short.
Well, he's supposed to be a sinker away, and he kind of held on to it a little too long, so the ball cut in, up and in on Bench, and clips him.
And Bichette flies one out to left. Bellinger steadies, and he's got it 1 out. Bichette now 0 for his last 14. And that's going to be all for Elmer Rodriguez, with Soto coming up. Aaron Boone wants the lefty. Second straight day, the Yankees have gone to the bullpen early. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Nissan. Shop NissanUSA.com.
This Nissan lineup goes.
While the big guys play here, the youngsters bundled up against the cold. Hasbrook Heights. I don't think that's from today.
Love that.
It's a lot of
It's a lot of participation from the village.
And Mrs. Met was there too. Sportsmanship and T-ball. Good game, good game, good game.
Way to go.
Oh, look at that. Oh, the old-fashioned. Look at the grip.
He's got to work. He's got the split grip.
It's like Ty Cobb.
This is the best part of playing Little League Baseball, right there.
Refreshments.
Yep. Slurpee, ice cream.
Frozen Cokes, that's what they were called when we were kids, the frozen Coca-Colas.
There's some Little Leaguers.
The veteran left-hander Ryan Yarbrough in to face Juan Soto with the go-ahead run at first and 1 out. Soto was singled and struck out today, and he dribbles one up the first baseline. Escara on it, and he throws out Soto for the 2nd out as Bench moves up to 2nd.
Well,
just a big, lazy curveball from Yarbrough that the speed of it got Juan out in front and right up the end of the bat.
But he's got the funkadelic motion, too, coming across, goes across his body. And he dropped a little a bend in the river on him.
So now Mark Vientos, who singled and scored the Mets run in the 4th, looking to get the go-ahead run home in the 5th. And it takes Cutter outside for ball 1.
Well, you can see right now out in front.
And Vientos lines one to left. That's down for a base hit. They're going to hold Benj at third as Bellinger gets it in quickly. So Vientos has his second hit of the day. And the Mets have runners at the corners. And we're going to get a pinch hitter. Tyrone Taylor is going to bat for MJ Melendez.
Vientos continues to hit with men on base. 341 coming into the game. That leads the team.
I mean, that ball was hit so hard, Keith, sorry, that Bellinger had it before Benji even got to third base.
And you can't challenge his arm.
Red hot right now, Vientos.
So Taylor, who has struggled at the plate, gets the assignment against the left-hander. 1 for 3 in his career against Yarbrough. First and third, 2 out. And this is where it really hits home all the injuries the Mets have had.
The ball. The New York Yankees are challenging. The catcher's challenging.
Scarra challenging the call of the ball, and he runs it over to a strike.
The call is overturned.
You know,
the Yankees have 2 challenges remaining.
Strike 1 is so important right now in an RBI situation in a tie ball game in the 5th.
Make the right call with Sterling Optical. See clearly and look great doing it. Benj at third, Vientos at first with 2 out. And Taylor lines one to center field. Grisham diving, and he made the catch.
Wow.
The 2-time Gold Glover Trent Grisham closing ground and catching a searing line drive before it hit the turf. Beautifully done by Grisham to save a run. Cody Bellinger leads off in the top of the 6th. Tyrone Taylor, after pinch hitting, stays in the game in left field. Taylor did everything he could.
Yep.
Hit the ball 104 miles an hour, but Trent Grisham was equal to it.
Boy, he just got a really great jump on that line drive.
Bellinger's been up twice, walked both times against Peralta, who's walked 4 today. And now he's behind Bellinger 3-0. Jazz Chisholm and Ryan McMahon. 2 more left-hand batters to follow.
He's just really with Peralta against Bellinger. He just like he doesn't want any part of him. He's walked him twice, been keeping the ball away from him.
Sean Manaea is up in the Mets bullpen with Peralta up to 90 pitches. And a lot of conversation in the last few days about who gets Clay Holmes' spot in the rotation. And it's inside ball 4.
Oh, he wanted to call it a strike.
You know, last inning I talked about how Rehak's been calling that a strike, and he declined to do that for Peralta there.
Umpires have check swings with their right arm when they want to call a strike.
Yep.
So they stop.
So that's 5 walks today for Peralta. And he'll face Jazz Chisholm with a man on. Anyway, with Manaea up in the bullpen, it certainly looks like that takes him out of the conversation for who's going to start that next time through, whether that's Tuesday or Wednesday. Slider to start off Chisholm, who struck out and walked today.
Yeah, that was a strike, Jazz.
The nature of pitching and hitting. After a walk, Jazz was sitting on a fastball first pitch. He got the breaking ball.
He takes a changeup out of the strike zone, 1-1. Chisholm's 4 for 10 in this series. So Manaea getting loose. Christian Scott will go tomorrow in Washington, and then Nolan McLean will pitch Tuesday or Wednesday. And it bounces away from Singer, and down to second base with the go-ahead run goes Bellinger.
Well, that'll be a wild pitch, but Hayden Singer will tell you that he should have handled that.
Yes, agreed. Hayden's going to be mad at himself. Oh, he backhanded it, that's why. Now let's see if the runner can be advanced. Game like this, 6th inning late, tie ball game. You either drive him in or at least the minimum you advance the runner.
2-1 from Peralta. And he goes away with a sinker, and it's 3-1.
last start, Freddie Peralta willed himself through the 6th inning. Let's see if he can do that again.
And Chisholm takes a walk. Back-to-back walks to start the 6th. That's 6 walks in 5 innings plus. And Carlos Mendoza tells Sanger to go out and kill some time to get Minaya ready.
Yeah, that's what the manager will do. Send out the catcher to have that conversation. As a starting pitcher, you know what it's about. It's probably you're coming out of the game.
You've got McMahon and Jones coming up, all left-hand hitters. And the bench of the Yankees is Rosario, Schumann, and Goldschmidt, the right-handed bench.
1-1 game in the 6th. Peralta out. Minaya in. We'll be right back to Citi Field. Now the Mets have had the upper hand lately here at Citi Field, winning 11 of the last 15 from the Yankees at Citi Field. But since interleague play began, this is the 30th year. The Yankees have the overall lead. They're the Mets leaders against the Yankees.
You know, when we think of Sean Manaea coming into the game, we think about him as kind of the long man in the bullpen for the Mets. But Mendoza has always said that he would have to, at some point, get some left-handed bats out in the middle of the lineup. And here's his chance. He hasn't thrown in a week.
They're going to leave Ryan McMahon in to face him. Spencer Jones due up next, and he's on deck as well.
They may bunt here.
That's how the corner's pinched in.
I would.
Good speed on the bases. Bellinger at second, Chisholm at first. McMahon 0 for his last 21. And he does square and bunts in self-defense. 0-1.
It's always amazing to me. I think it's part of how bunting is not as adept as it used to be. You don't have to bunt the ball. If it's a ball, you take it.
Well, to your point about how adept hitters are, the Yankees do not have a sacrifice bunt this year. It's the entire team. He does get this one down nicely. Sanger thought about third, but settles for the out at first. Bellinger got a good break off second base, so Sanger thought better of it. 2-3 on the sacrifice, first of the year for the Yankees.
It wasn't even that. Is that Sanger made the right play because it's not bunted far enough. So Beatty should have got back to third base, and you would have had a forced play. But he came too far in, so Sanger only had one play.
Now Paul Goldschmidt will bat for Spencer Jones. Goldschmidt has been phenomenal on a part-time role this year. 927 OPS. Mets bring the infield in. Second and third, 1 out. Tie game, 6th inning. And Goldschmidt takes a sweeper that stays outside for ball 1.
Now Beatty has to come in. Now there's nothing you can do. Your first move is going to be in, and you're just going to bust back. That's just a tough play for Beatty. I mean, you can't anticipate a grub worm bunt.
Goldschmidt 1 for 8 in his career against Minaya. And he swings and misses at the sweeper, and it's 2-1.
Well, it's almost like Goldschmidt was sitting on it, though. He got the pitch and just couldn't handle it. Good one by Sean.
Goldschmidt is sitting .625 with runners in scoring position this year. He pokes that one foul. 2-2 to the former MVP.
Really be careful and be alert on that right side with 2 strikes. Goldschmidt will try to shoot you that way.
Sean needs a strikeout. 2-2. And hit the foot of Goldschmidt, I think. Yep. And he's going to go to first base, and that'll load him up. So Minaya had him on the edge, but lost him. And now the bases are loaded for Anthony Volpe.
That might be a fortuitous hit by pitch.
Yeah, you're thinking that would have been a tough one for Senger to corral, right?
Yes.
Now we'll get a pinch runner for Goldschmidt. Now Schumann will come in.
And the Mets will play halfway, up the middle, in at the corners.
Volpe loves to swing at the first pitch, so make your best one the first one.
Volpe picked up his first hit of the year, doubled to left center in the second, then struck out in the fourth against Peralta. Middle infielders halfway, and Volpe lines a base hit into left field, and the Yankees regain the lead. Bellinger is in, Chisholm right behind him. The throw to the plate is airmailed by Taylor, throw to third, and safe. Schumann got his hand in there. Tyrone Taylor airmailing the cutoff man, enabling Schumann to go to third. It's a two-run single for Volpe, and the Yankees go up 3-1.
Slider out over the plate. Stayed flat hanging. And good base running on the back side. And Gary, you called it. Airmailed it home. Good read by the back runner. Advancing to third. And Jones.
The swim technique here. Reach with his right, takes the left away.
And he's on. Oh boy, did he come off? I mean, you're going to beat the throw. Just go slide right into the bag. Don't pull any abracadabra.
So 2 runs come home. First 2 RBIs of the year for Volpe. And now Ahmed Rosario will bat for J.C. Escara, as Aaron Boone goes for the throat here in the 6th. And Rosario flies one to right. Tagging at third, Schumann. Benj makes the catch. The throw to the plate is cut off. Throw to second too late. And the Yankees pick up a 3rd run in the 6th inning on the sac fly by Rosario to make it 4-1.
Well, the Yankees did everything right here. Really aggressive and smart base running. It's not a strong throw home. One mistake by Vientos, and I can't blame Vientos. You know the throw's not strong. He waited for it. Go get it. The runner's going to second. Go get that cutoff throw. Shorten the distance.
So 3 runs home in the 6th, 2 of them charged to Peralta, the last one to Minaya. And now Trent Grisham is 0 for 3 today. And he swings and misses at a fastball.
Well, here's the play at third. And yeah, he's off the bag right there. The tag is on him.
This did not challenge the call. Grisham fouls back a high fastball. About the only bright spot in this inning, Sean Manaea is consistently throwing 92 with his fastball, which we have not seen all that often this year. It's been more in 89 and 90 range. Well, the big defensive mistake in the inning was by Taylor. That ended up costing the Mets an extra run.
Really, Volpe trying to advance on that throw was very risky.
I think he was just giving himself up, Keith.
Yep.
You know, I think what has happened, and you know, Steve was talking to Mendoza there during the game, is that he decided to bring in Minaya against the lefties, and the counter by Boone with his righties paid off.
Well, hitting Goldschmidt with the pitch after he got to 2 strikes, that didn't help either. 0-2 to Grisham, and he pops one up on the left side. Bichette giving ground. Continues to backpedal, and he dropped the ball. And a run comes home.
Oh, my God.
Taylor never called him off. Bichette kept on backpedaling and could not make the catch. And it's 5-1 Yankees. Second straight day that the Mets have failed to catch a catchable pop-up.
He's backpedaling here, and that's why when you backpedal, that ball is like Lawrence Welk, follow the bouncing ball. When you're on your heels, that is a no-no.
Well, doesn't Taylor have to call him off?
100%.
Yes.
I think that's been 2 plays that you don't see Taylor make in this inning. The overthrow and this one. Once an infielder is backing up like that, you know he's drifting, he's in trouble. You got to call him off.
So 4 runs home in this 6th inning. And now Ben Rice, who homered for the first Yankee run back in the third.
In defense of Taylor, you've got a veteran shortstop that's under it. He's going to make that play 99 out of 100. Yes, he could have called him off. Boy, oh boy, is this inning blown up.
Started with back-to-back walks issued by Peralta. His 5th and 6th of the game. With 6 walks, matching a career high for Peralta, who is charged with 3 runs on 2 hits over 5 innings plus. 6 walks, 4 strikeouts.
Oh my.
0-2 to Rice, who's 1 for 3 on the day. And he waves at the sweeper for strike 3. The inning's over, but the damage done. The Yankees score 4 runs and lead at 5-1 going to the bottom of the 6th at Citi Field.
Whether you're an athlete or a fan, good sleep can be hard to come by, especially when you can't.
Knox Schumann stays in the game in left field. Cody Bellinger moves to right. Austin Wells will do the catching. Ryan Yarborough, the beneficiary of those 4 runs, still out there to face Brett Beatty leading off in the home 6th. Yankees scoring 4 runs on only 1 hit.
Yep. I'd have to say that's a bad inning for the Mets.
2 walks setting the table. The hit by pitch loading the bases. Volpe with the big hit. And then a couple of, well, actually 3 defensive mistakes by the Mets. A ball and a strike to Beatty, who's 1 for 2 today at a base hit to center field his last time up. Semien and Ewing to follow as the Mets try to respond in the bottom of the 6th. And Yarborough throws that 87-mile-an-hour fastball by Beatty, and it's 1-2.
He's got that rushing motion. He almost shoves it, Ronnie. Yeah. He's a herky-jerky guy that can be sneaky.
Beatty pops one up into shallow center. Angling is Bellinger from right, but Grisham's got the call and the catch. 1 out. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Hyundai. Hyundai gives you America's best warranty on every new vehicle. Visit Hyundai.com for more information. By Sage, the official finance software partner of Major League Baseball. By New York 811, safety is in your hands every dig, every time. And by Jeep, there's only one. There's Marcus Semien. Semien drove in the Mets run with an opposite field double in the 4th. As we're down 1-0 after Ben Rice's 3rd inning home run. Semien's hit got the Mets tied. Mets had a scoring opportunity in the 5th, but Trent Grisham put an end to that with a diving catch to rescue Yarborough, and then the Yankees put up a 4 spot on the top of the inning. Fastball misses away. 2 balls and a strike to Semien with A.J. Ewing on deck. Elmer Rodriguez, 3rd big league start for the Yankees. He pitched well, 4 1/3, 1 run, 5 hits, a walk, a strikeout, a hit batsman, 64 pitches. No decision for him. And Semien lines a base hit. So Marcus has his 2nd hit of the day. A 1-out single. Mets have now hit the Yankees 7-3, but they're 4 runs in the rear.
Trying to come up and in, but throws 85 to 87 miles an hour. So fought off by Semien, who lines that ball to left field.
And Semien likes that ball middle in.
So now A.J. Ewing has already been on base twice today with a single and a walk. He's stolen a base. And he takes that slider outside for ball 1.
A little bit of a different left-hander for Ewing to face here. Throws 3/4, almost like the ball's coming from behind you.
Yarborough spent his first 5 years pitching for Tampa Bay. Worked as a starter, worked as a bulk guy. Bounced around since then. Fastball away. Went to the Royals and the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. Second year now with the Yankees.
Throws across his body a bit.
Two and one to Ewing with Senger on deck. That's way outside.
I mean, I know he's only been up for a while, but he seems to be 3-1 on every count.
He's got a good eye.
It does.
And then he usually takes a strike on 3-1. Like that. 3-2.
Oh, you catch the. Oh, look at this. Watch his front, his stride foot.
Simeon at first with one out.
It's an interesting pitch because his strength is throwing that curveball to lefties, but it's a 5-1 score. You don't want to walk anybody, so does the Ewing get a 3-2 fastball here from Flaherty? I mean, from Yarbrough.
Everything's going to be away here, whether it's a slider or a fastball.
Fouled off the fastball.
I tell you what, Ewing hangs in there. He stays in on lefties. He's got a fast bat. I really like this guy.
Fouls that one off his leg. All but one of AJ's strikeouts have been on call third strikes.
One of them, Gary, was a good pitch. It was a fastball, and the pitcher made the pitch. I forget who the pitcher was, but it was a good pitch. It's going to get a lot of hitters. You're most vulnerable with two strikes inside, and he darted it right there and struck him out wherever it was. So you tip your hat.
No complaints about AJ's first week in the big leagues. With his performance today, his OPS is back over 1,000. Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming from Yarbrough. And it's away for ball 4, and Ewing's on base for a third straight time.
Boy, veteran pitcher out there. Your team gives you a 4-run lead. Yep, adios.
Got the right-hand batting Senger coming up. So Aaron Boone will go to the bullpen. 5-1 Yankees in the 6th. Mets trying to rally. We'll be right back. Well, it's a New York matchup, right? So what's New York without Pastrami? I think you need a little more mustard on that side.
Yes, I'm a big mustard guy too. On rye.
Some people like the Russian dressing rather than the mustard, but that's definitely skimping on the mustard. Look at that; didn't even cover the bread.
Exactly. It should be overflowing.
But it's a generous portion of pastrami. Jake Bird in to pitch. Luis Torrens pinch hitting. 2 aboard with 1 out. Torrens batting for Hayden Senger, and he takes a strike from Bird, who pitched yesterday.
And that's one of his strengths. He can throw every day. They got Jake Bird from the Colorado Rockies to the Yankees last season at the trading deadline.
He's the good sweeper. Torrens 0 for 7 in this series, but had a big at bat yesterday. A strikeout, but he took 10 pitches to strike out against Carlos Rodon, and it seemed to turn the tide of the game. He's been a great pinch hitter in his career. Lifetime .339 as a pinch hitter. Simeon at second, Ewing at first with 1 out. And Torrens strokes one over the bag. That's a fair ball going down the line. Simeon will score. Ewing being waved around third as Bellinger has trouble picking it up in the corner. Torrens at second base with a 2-run double. And the Mets are right back in it. It's 5-3. That is what Luis Torrens does best. Going the other way, taking it over the bag, and he drives in a pair as a pinch hitter.
Almost have to play him in the infield like a left-handed hitter. Right down that line to the left of Bird. Once it gets down in that corner. Watch Ewing run.
Yeah, he's going to score.
One of the beautiful things of this Mets team right now.
You know, that's what Torrens does well. Torrens hits that ball to the opposite field.
So now the Mets get the tying run to bat with Carson Bench. And Carson takes that sweeper for a strike, 0-1. Bench was hit by pitches last time up, otherwise 0 for 2. So the Yankees scored 4 in the top of the inning. Mets have gotten 2 right back. Torrens at second with 1 out. Torrens dancing off the bag like he was going to be going somewhere. A ball and strike to Bench. He certainly looked like he rattled Bird on that pitch.
Now let's see where the pitch is. Oh, it was right down the middle, and he was playing it that way, all the way, all the time. And got on top.
Bench goes after the high fastball and misses. 1-2. Both runs in this inning charged to Ryan Yarbrough. He gives up 2 runs and 2 hits in 1 inning of work. Bench had a hit against Bird in the game yesterday. With that base hit, Luis Torrens is now hitting .351 in his career as a pinch hitter. Secret weapon. And Bench tries to hold.
He did.
And he stopped it in time. 2-2.
So the Mets have had a lot of in this run here in May. A lot of come from behinds.
Well, they had the series against the Tigers on this homestand in which they trailed by multiple runs in all 3 games. It was the 3rd time in their history they had swept a series when they were down multiple runs in every game.
This would just be a beautiful game to come back to win.
Bo Bichette on deck. 2-2 to Bench. And Carson fouls one into the dirt. Still 2-2.
So 4-1 in this homestand. All 4 wins come from behind, right? There you go. 9-5. Trying to overturn March and April.
7th pitch of the at-bat coming from Bird to Bench. And Carson fouls that one off on a cutter running it on his hands.
That's one of those counts where the pitcher threw the pitch he wanted to throw. He got it exactly where he wanted to throw it. And great job by Bench fouling that off.
Again, the 2-2. He fouled away another one. High cutter that time. Pitch number 9 from Bird to Bench. And the breaking ball fouled off.
Hanging in there. Tried to throw a little backdoor breaking ball.
Torrens at second and 1 out. This will be the 10th pitch of the at bat. And it's up and away. Ball 3. Quite a plate appearance for Bench, no matter how this finishes. Bird threw 15 pitches yesterday. He's already thrown 13 and not gotten an out. 3-2. Struck him out.
Good pitch.
Went to that sweeper to get the strikeout on the 11th pitch of the at bat. 2 out.
Pretty good pitch right there, Ron.
First the grip on that sweeper by Bird. Right on the side of that baseball. Middle finger makes it move.
That's a good one. It wasn't as tough to lay off.
Too.
Tough to lay off that pitch.
There's the release. You can see all those seams just jumping at you.
Now another chance for Bo Bichette. He shoots one foul back into the netting. 0-1. Bo was grounded to short twice. Flied to left. 0 for his last 14. 2 for his last 37. Tying run at the plate in the 5-3 game. Bo takes one inside, a ball and a strike.
Now with Soto in the on-deck circle, Bichette's got to know he's going to come after me.
We've got Tim Hill, the side-arming lefty, up in the bullpen. If Soto comes up, undoubtedly we'll see him.
Bichette up. Bellinger in right field, the best arm of the Yankee outfielders.
2-1 to Bo. In the air to right center. Should be easy for Grisham. And that retires the side. Let's get two back on Terenz's pinch hit double. It's 5-3 after 6.
We're here for those who build America.
7th inning, 5-3 Yankees. Aaron Judge leads off against Sean Manaea. And Sean throws one to the backstop. Ball 1. Manaea came in with nobody out in the 6th. A sacrifice, a hit batsman, a 2-run single by Volpe, a sac fly by Rosario. Bichette dropped the pop-up, bring in another run. 4 runs on 1 hit for the Yankees in that 6th inning. Judge is 0 for 2 in a walk, and he fouls back a fastball. Ball and a strike.
You want to win this game and come back if you're the Mets. You need a 0 here from Sean. Got to have it.
Judge has great numbers against Manaea, 6 for 15 with 2 home runs. And he hits that on the ground. Bichette one-hands it. 1 out.
I think that was a changeup. Rare changeup from Manaea.
Well, he has to throw that pitch more if he's going to be successful.
Especially when he's got to go through the lineup a couple of times.
Yankees have not had a losing season since 1992, the longest of any professional sports franchise. Bellinger grounds one foul. The Clippers have the longest active NBA streak. The Wild, the longest NHL streak, and the Bills, the longest football streak. Bellinger lines one to the center, and he's on base for the 4th time today. Walked his first 3 times up. Now he's got a 1-out single. Only the 4th Yankee hit of the day.
Full follow through, wraps the bat around his back, a la Piazza.
I mean, rookie of the year, MVP, and there was a time you weren't sure if he was going to be able to stay and be as good of a player as he was early in his career.
Agreed.
Well, he reestablished himself with the Cubs. Came to the Yankees and had a tremendous year last year. They re-signed him for 5 years and $162 million, and it appears to be money well spent.
Los Angeles, Chicago, New York.
Big market player. I don't think any of that bothers him. Jazz Chisholm struck out and walked twice, and Manaea falls behind him 2-0. Of course, it doesn't hurt that Cody's dad played for the Yankees.
Right.
Played Bellinger. Strike 2-1. Chisholm is just 1 for 9 against Manaea in his career. As you look at Giancarlo Stanton's pants on the much slighter Chisholm. Breaking ball hit toward the middle. That's going to go through for a base hit. Bellinger will go to second and stop there. So Chisholm able to keep his hands back on that sweeper, and he's on base for the 3rd time.
Bellinger had to freeze. Wasn't sure if Simeon could make that play. That's why he only went 90 feet.
Yes, he froze, definitely. Didn't get that breaking ball. It's up number 1 and too much plate.
So now 2 on with 1 out, and Ryan McMahon, who was the first man that Manaea faced, he had a sacrifice bunt in the 6th. Not going to sacrifice here with 1 out, and he takes fastball inside for ball 1. McMahon trying to snap an 0 for 21 stretch. Grounded foul, ball on a strike.
Well,
it used to be that everybody wore baggy pants.
That's right. I was just going to say, you were not back in the 1920s.
Well, it worked for Ruth and Gehrig. Maybe it'll work for Jazz. 1-1 to McMahon. And he pops one up. Shallow left. Out goes Bichette. In comes Taylor on the run to make the catch. So Taylor, who failed to be aggressive on a pop-up in the 6th inning, that came charging like a stallion. 2 out.
It's like that's not going to happen again.
So now Max Schumann will bat for the first time. Schumann, the Eastern Michigan product, who began his career with the A's. He's only had 11 at-bats, 3 hits. He came in as a pinch runner, stayed in the game in left field. Aaron Boone used his entire bench in the 6th inning.
He certainly did.
And Schumann takes inside for ball 1. Schumann was a multi-positional player for the A's. Played 6 different positions. Filling a spot now with Caballero out. And takes outside 2-0.
That inning reminded me with Aaron Boone. Remember the 2021 San Francisco Giants?
Yeah.
And they used to just bring in a whole load of and just change everyone to the other side.
Gabe Kapler was
Yeah, with the manager.
And now Minaya gets a borderline strike, and Schumann's going to challenge the call.
I think it's up.
The pitch was ruled a strike. The hitter's challenging.
I think it's up, Gare.
Jeremy Reha called it a strike, but it's a ball.
Calls overturned.
A fairly
New York Yankees have 2
significant
challenges
margin.
remaining.
Don't take it personal now, don't.
3-0 to Schumann with Volpe on deck. Yeah, that's too high. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded. You can't be walking Max Schumann on 4 pitches. Now Minaya puts himself in the soup facing Volpe, who came up with the bases loaded in the 6th and delivered a base hit to drive in 2 and give the Yankees the lead.
And there's pitching coach Justin Willard. Remember, the Mets ran pretty much through their bullpen last night.
Well, they used their 4 most important relievers, Williams, Weaver, Raley, and Brazoban yesterday. So clearly they're a little short today, and they're asking for Minaya to give them length.
Well, this is a fascinating visit because Volpe swung at the first pitch. It wasn't a good breaking ball. So it's interesting to see what Willard had to say to his left-hander about just execute a better first pitch breaking ball or go after him with the hard stuff.
And remember, Volpe attacked the first pitch with that 2 RBI single, which was a hanging slider over the middle, RJ.
Volpe has his first 2 big league hits of the season, a double back in the 2nd against Peralta, and then that bases loaded single against Minaya. Bases loaded, 2 down. And Volpe takes fastball strike.
Nice counter.
Game-changing moment. And Volpe fouls it back, and Minaya's ahead 0-2.
All right. He's done the initial part. Now he's got to put him away. Reach back with the high fastball out of the zone. Volpe wants to hit here. Make him chase.
Laid off the high fastball, and it's 1-2.
I'd stay with the same pitch. You don't want to be in the strike zone here. Once it gets to 2-2, then it's a different ball game.
Austin Wells would be next. 1-2 from Minaya. And Volpe takes another fastball up out of the strike zone. 2-2.
Now as a pitcher, you got to play in the strike zone because you can't afford to go to 3-2. Well, you don't want to go to 3-2.
Bellinger at 3rd, Chisholm at 2nd, Schumann at 1st with 2 out. 2-2 to Volpe. Inside, ball 3. So after Manaea had him 0-2, now he's gone full, and that'll set the merry-go-round in motion.
This would take a lot of guts, but the 3-2 breaking ball is a nice play here. But it'd take a lot of guts.
Oh boy.
All three runners get set to take off. 3-2 coming to Volpe. And he missed badly for ball 4 to force in a run. So Manaea walks Schumann to fill the bases, and after getting ahead 0-2, he walks Volpe to force in a run, and the Yankee lead is 6-3.
Wow.
Now Austin Wells comes up for the first time. And Wells hits a comebacker. Manaea fields it and makes the play to win the inning. But the Yankees tack on a run on the bases loaded walk, and Manaea hearing it from the Citi Field crowd. To the right. Into the air to center field. David going back to the warning track. It's over his head, and the Mets win it. David Wright with a walk-off hit in the bottom of the ninth off Mariano Rivera, and the Mets have taken game 1 from the Yankees. Yeah, we mentioned Johnny Damon might have been playing a little too shallow.
Can you guys believe that's 20 years ago? Oh my goodness.
You know what happened 28 years ago today? David Wells threw his perfect game.
Oh wow. With the Babe Ruth cap?
With Don Larson in the stands.
That's right.
And Yogi Berra.
Yogi Berra.
And Coney's to our right here in the booth next to us.
He also threw a perfect game for the Yankees. That memory is presented by Prevagen. Well, Yankee memories too. We're equal opportunity broadcast.
For New York sports.
We have memories. At the corners of my mind. Well, it's a beautiful day. It's 89 degrees now. First real summertime day the Mets have had. You know, outside of Arizona, but that doesn't count. No, it's always hot there. Road Ahead presented by Infinity. Mets are in D.C. tomorrow to start a 4-game series against the Nats, who beat the Mets 2 out of 3 at Citi Field. Nats have been swinging the bats incredibly well, led by James Wood and C.J. Abrams. And recently, Keibert Ruiz 3 home runs in his last 5 games. And the Mets are in Miami for the weekend. They come home for a Memorial Day matchup with the Reds. Camilo Doval in for the 2nd straight day. Juan Soto takes his first pitch high for ball 1.
Well, there was a time when Doval was the closer for the Giants. He looked like one of the best up-and-coming young relief pitchers in the game, but he has lost his way.
I always felt he was a thrower, Ron. This was a big arm.
Well, what's interesting about some of these relievers, like Doval, they do better at getting their breaking ball over than they do with their fastball.
Soto did not face Doval yesterday, but he was on base when Doval came in. And Juan stole 2nd, and he stole 3rd, in the process tripling his stolen base total for the year.
Gave you the scouting report on Doval.
He played against him plenty of times. Vientos on deck, then Taylor for the Mets in the 7th. And there's a strike, 3-1.
Everything away right here. That fastball running away. We'll be sitting on it.
Three and 1 to Soto, who has a base hit today. He swings and misses at a high fastball, 99 miles an hour from Doval. It was just 3 years ago that Doval led the National League in saves. He had 39 for the Giants. Came to the Yankees in a trade last summer. His ERA across 41 games with the Yankees is over 5. Soto leading off in the bottom of the 7th. Vientos on deck, and Juan bounces one foul. Elmer Rodriguez started for the Yankees. His third big league start allowed just a run and 5 hits over 4 1/3. Ryan Yarbrough gave up 2 runs in his inning. Jake Bird got a couple of outs in the 6th, and no Doval in the 7th. And Soto hits one on the ground, backing off his Chisholm to play the hop, and throws out Soto 1 away. Well, there are your pitching probables brought to you by Prevagen. McLean on Tuesday is maybe. He might pitch Wednesday, and the Mets will have to figure out who's going to take Clay Holmes' spot in either that Tuesday or Wednesday slot.
Just trying to give him an extra day. He's thrown a lot of innings, of course, early in this season.
It's supposed to be very hot in D.C. for the first 3 days of that series, 95 plus.
It's going to be glorious.
Yes, it will. Not so much the last day, from what they tell us. Vientos is 2 for 3, and he takes a slider high for ball 1.
It's a little colder at 30,000 feet, though, in that booth.
It's all right. We can employ the Hubble telescope.
Borderline knees. I think it's going to be.
The pitch was going to strike. The hitter's
Vientos is
challenging.
tall. I'm going to say it's a ball.
And you are correct.
The call is overturned. The New York Mets have 1 challenge remaining.
Pulled like a Hardy Boys investigative reporting on that.
I'm getting my old eye back. I love this. It's like I'm hitting again.
Sounds like you're umpiring. There's a strike, 2-1. Yankees 6 runs and 5 hits. The Mets 3 runs and 8 hits. We're in the 7th. And Vientos takes up an in, and Duval's behind 3-1. Even though Doval has been scatter-armed, he hasn't walked many. Only 3 walks in 16 innings. Tyrone Taylor on deck. And Vientos takes a strike, 3-2.
Like I said, I feel like he can throw his slider for a strike anytime he wants.
Vientos 0 for 2 in his career against Doval. (3-2) coming, and he hits one right at the second baseman Chisholm. 2 up, 2 set aside. Duvall set down his first 2, and now Tyrone Taylor comes up for the second time. Turning point in this game came in the 5th inning. Tie game. That's at 1st and 3rd and 2 out. Taylor came up as a pinch hitter against the lefty Yarbrough. Hit a sinking line drive to center that looked destined to be a hit that would give the Mets the lead. But Trent Grisham came in, made a diving catch, kept the Mets off the board, and then the next half inning, the Yankees scored 4 times to grab the lead. And Taylor rockets that one out to left. Going back is Schumann, and he makes the running catch. 2 bullets off the bat of Taylor, but both result in outs. We've played 7 at Citi Field. Yankees 6, Mets 3.
Only on SNY.
Well, after we're done here, be sure to keep it tuned for Mercedes-Benz Postgame Live. Gary Apple, Jerry Blevins, Todd Zeal will have all the highlights, all the interviews, all the analysis. Mercedes-Benz Postgame Live. Trent Grisham leads off in the 8th inning against Sean Manaea, who begins his 3rd inning of relief. Grisham's 0 for 4 today, 1 for 13 in this series. Last time up, he had a 2-out pop-up that Bo Bichette dropped for an error that brought in a run. And he calls strike on the outside edge, and it's 0-2. Ben Rice on deck, then Aaron Judge against Manaea. After Freddie Peralta went the first 5 innings plus, he was charged with 3 runs on 2 hits. He walked 6, which tied a career high. In fact, Peralta did something that is rarely done. He threw 96 pitches, 52 balls, and 44 strikes. And a swing and a miss, and Grisham down on strikes. That's the second strikeout for Manaea. So throwing 8 more balls than strikes, it's only happened once for the Mets in the last 14 years. And that was by Robert Gazelman, also against the Yankees.
Oh, my Gazelman. That's a blast from the past.
Remember, Gazelman gave up the upper deck shot to Aaron Judge. Ground ball down to first, handled by Vientos, and he gets the bag to retire Rice, 2 out. Audi game-changing drive belonged to Ben Rice. Counted for the first run of the game in the 3rd inning.
15th home run of the year. Second home run in this series.
Now Aaron Judge is 0 for 3 and a walk today. You can play a 3-game series in which you keep Judge in the ballpark.
Yeah.
You figure that you got a pretty good chance to win the series. Judge 3 for 11 in the 3 games. His only extra base at a double. But he gets one more crack. 2-0. Well, the Wheeler versus Skeens matchup was one-sided in Pittsburgh today. Zach Wheeler has been phenomenal.
Hands out over the plate around mid-chest, but he brings him back.
Good sweeper has Judge flailing. 2-2.
Starts at his hands are right over that W in New York, where the new is, but he brings them back.
And he takes a fastball for strike 3 call. So Manaea bounces back with a 1-2-3-8. Mets come to bat in the bottom of the 8th, down 6-3.
And welcome to Citi Field.
We go to the bottom of the 8th. Mets down 6-3. We'll have Beatty, Semien, and Ewing up against Fernando Cruz. Beatty's 1 for 3 on the day. And he takes high for ball 1.
Yeah, fastballs and splitters you get from Cruz. What a find. They traded Jose Trevino, the catcher, to the Reds to get Cruz.
Fernando Cruz, very much like Huascar Brazoban, didn't get a chance to pitch in the big leagues till he was 32 years old. And they have both made the best of their 30s. Cruz is now 36. 3 years with the Reds, now his 2nd year with the Yankees. Semien on deck, Ewing behind him. Beatty tries to get this 8th inning going, but he pops one up. Into shallow right, back goes Chisholm to call. 1 out. Honda Sports Night comes your way tonight at 11 o'clock. Lots more on today's game and the Mets' upcoming road trip. Knicks awaiting their opponent in the Eastern Conference Finals. How's it going, Dave? Yeah? Here's Marcus Semien. So you're saying the game is tonight, Dave. Is that what you're saying? Semien pops one up. Is it Cruz who's going to catch it? No, he's called off at the last moment by Rice as Cruz goes tumbling.
Oh, it's like
2 out.
Out of my way.
Well, that's why he was called off to catch it. His maneuver after he was told to get out of the way. So it looks like he's going to catch it here, but once they tell him to get out of the way, he didn't have a lot of form.
Oh my God.
Getting out of the way. That was drop and roll.
Yeah, he didn't have the barrel roll part of it.
The only thing missing on that play was the dancing bears.
All's well that ends well. 2 out and nobody on. That's 7 straight Mets have been retired since Terenz's 2-run double in the 6th. A.J. Ewing's been on base all 3 times today with a single and 2 walks. And he takes a fastball strike. High splitter. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tim Hill, the side-arming lefty, is up again in the Yankee bullpen. They get a lot of guys up and down, don't they?
They do. And Hill can pitch every day.
I mean, he's not coming in unless the Mets get a couple of men on,
Right.
and then Benja's spot comes up.
Well, you're just hoping, like Edwin Diaz used to always do for the Mets here, you're hoping that as a veteran, he'll kind of mosey his way, kind of flip a few throws, and if the heat starts getting on, he will respond. Sideways. Sun to her left.
Yep.
Wherever the sun is, that's where the bell goes. Ewing fouls off a fastball, and it's 2-2. Luis Torrens would be next. The Yankees have David Bednar ready to close this game. He pitched the opening game of the series in a non-save situation and gave up a run in the ninth. Yeehaw. Two. He misses with a splitter. Full count. Ewing's already drawn a couple of walks today. Comes into this at bat with a .478 on base percentage in his first week in the big leagues. He hasn't played on the road yet. Get his first experience tomorrow. 3-2 coming. And he walks again. So Ewing is on base for the 4th straight time.
The pitcher's throw the ball, the catcher's challenging.
Wells is going to challenge the ball 4 call.
It's going to be a close one,
It's
Keith.
boy, it's borderline.
Catcher had to reach across. So.
Just missed.
They lose ball 4. So
Ball confirmed, ball 4. The Yankees have 1 challenge remaining.
the Yankees have 1 challenge left. Hey kids, you can join us in the booth to call half an inning of the Mets game on SNY. Parents, scan the code and submit your child's video for a chance to win the 2026 SNY Kidcaster contest presented by HSS.
Well, Torrens up here with the whole right side of that infield wide open for him with Chisholm up the middle.
Luis has the biggest hit for the Mets in this game, a pinch hit double right over the first base bag in the 6th inning that drove home a pair. Got the Mets within 5-3. Yankees then added a run in the 7th to make it 6-3. Fastball knee high for a strike. It's 1-1. Ewing at first with 2 down. Carson Benj would be next. Ewing has already stolen a base today. His 2nd in 3 tries. Not going to be running here, you wouldn't think, down by 3 runs in the 8th.
Better be safe.
Well, the guy he could run against was Doval, but the Mets didn't get anybody on against him. And a 2nd throw.
I know he's only 21 years old, but he's a pretty sophisticated base runner.
And he's fast, too.
Yeah.
Takes another step on his lead. And Torrens hits it off the end of the bat to center. Grisham eases over, and that retires the side. A walk and 1 left. On to the 9th we go. 6-3 Yankees.
Summer's here. You can celebrate anything, like buy
over 10 years.
9th inning, Yankees lead 6-3. Cody Bellinger's already been on base 4 times in this game with 3 walks and a single. He scored 2 runs. Jazz Chisholm and Ryan McMahon to follow against Sean Manaea, who starts his 4th inning of relief. And Bellinger pops one up. Vientos coming in from first base. And he's got it. 1 away. So Manaea, after issuing back-to-back walks in the 7th to force in a run, has retired the next 5 without the ball into the infield. And now Chisholm, who's had himself a nice series. 2 walks and a single today. 5 for 11 in the 3 games. Came into this series a struggling hitter, but he has perked up. Maybe it's the baggy pants. And Manaea picks off the inside corner, 1-1. In the last of the ninth, the Mets will have the top of the batting order coming up. Benj, Bichette, and Soto. David Bednar getting ready for that save opportunity. And Chisholm takes a strike, and it's 1-2. Freddie Peralta gave up the first 3 runs in 5 innings plus. Manaea's given up 3 runs. 2 of them earned over 3 innings. 2-2 to Chisholm. This outing for Sean has a dual purpose, I would suspect. Obviously trying to save the bullpen. That's lined the other way, and Chisholm is on base for the 4th time today. So Jazz with 2 walks and now 2 hits.
And that makes him, what, 6 for 12 in this series? Outstanding.
Went with that pitch on the outer half.
So Sean trying to finish this game has the purpose of saving the bullpen so that they're fresh for the series coming up with the Nationals. But also that spot in the rotation with the injury to Holmes, a nice grab by Semien, and they turn the 4-6-3 double play. They need to stretch Manaea out. So he's an option to start. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth, 6-3. Yankees leading at 6-3 in the rubber game of this 3-game series. Your All-State Good Hands replay. Lots of good defense by the Yankee outfield today.
So this was, right here. Beautiful play by Jones. Got a bad break on it. Grisham got a great break. This was a run-saving catch right there. That
game changer.
Gold glove play.
And then Schumann
going back and making it look easy.
David Bednar on to bid for the save.
4 or 5 different relievers. Sorry, 5 different relievers used by Boone this afternoon after it started Rodriguez in the 4 1/3.
Carson Benj leads off in the last of the ninth. Benj is 0 for 3. He's also been hit by a pitch. And takes fastball inside from Bednar. Bichette and Soto to follow, and obviously the goal here is to get the first 2 guys on and give Soto a crack.
Got to take a strike here, don't you, Ronnie?
Yes.
And Bednar falls behind 2-0.
Bednar, the first game, when he closed that first game, he got off to a sluggish start too. Fell behind the count in the first batter.
Walked Soto, then he got a double play ball, gave up a couple of hits and a run. It was a non-save situation. And Bench swinging on 2-0.
Interesting.
Well, just because you have a new attitude on what you should do in the 9th inning doesn't make it right. You need base runners. They can throw strikes.
Bednar, 2-time All-Star in Pittsburgh. Throws that curveball for a strike, and it's 2-2.
Good curve right there. A little late break.
Got a little split to go with that as well.
Bichette on deck, then Soto. And Benj floats one into center field for a base hit. Nicely done by Carson Benj. And the Mets got the leadoff man on in the ninth.
He's starting to hit that high pitch a lot better. He's a low ball hitter. And he muscles this one up the middle there.
So the Mets need one more base runner to get the tying run to bat. Bichette at the plate, Soto on deck. Huge turn at bat here for Bichette, who's had a bunch of them tonight, but has been unable to connect. 0 for 4. And he hits one up the middle. He's got a base hit. And the Mets will get the tying run to bat in the bottom of the ninth with Juan Soto coming up. What a relief for Bichette as he snaps an 0 for 15 stretch with a first pitch single.
Well, he got that first ball, fastball, went to hitting, got the head out.
Okay,
Found a hole.
The stage is set.
Soto's on a really nice series, 4 hits and 9 at bats. Tying run at bat in a 6-3 game. Nobody out. And Juan fouls one at the plate on a first pitch splitter from Bednar. Juan has 2 hits and 4 career at bats against Bednar, who walked him on Friday night. Oh, 1 to Soto. And Juan takes one on the outside corner. And now it's 0-2. Mark Vientos on deck. 31-year-old David Bednar came to the Yankees mid-season last year from the Pirates. And Soto pops one up in foul ground that'll come back out of play.
Soto's had a lot of individual moments. He's had some highlights, certainly in this Mets uniform. But I don't know if he's had the moment.
They're playing him dead pull on the infield on the right side.
Spits on that splitter. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
This sets up as the moment.
First baseman's a little bit too much off the line for my liking. You don't want to give up a double here.
Bednar's given up only 1 home run this season. Soto grounds one down to first. Rice has got it. Gets the out at second. Volpe to first, not in time. And they get the middle runner Bichette for the first out. Bench to third. 1 away. And now Mark Vientos, who has driven in 15 runs in his last 14 games. He's got 2 hits today. He's tied with Soto for the club lead with 6 home runs. One for 3 in his career against Bednar. First and third and 1 out. Vientos flailing at a first pitch curveball, 0-1.
Oh, I think Mark was looking for a fastball to try to tie the ball game. Just kind of overloaded there. Shading him to the opposite field in the outfield. Big gap in left center field.
Benj at third, Soto at first with 1 out. And Vientos again swinging and missing badly on a curveball, and it's 0-2.
That was a good one right there, Ronnie.
Well, when you're pitching against a hitter and he's that far out in front, it's almost impossible to throw a different pitch because they haven't showed you that they can stay back. But excellent pitch from Bednar.
Will he give him another one here?
0-2 coming. Soto runs, and Vientos strikes out for the second out.
Up the ladder, Ronnie.
They're going to give Soto credit for a stolen base, even though that run does not mean anything.
Yeah, they were holding him on. So 2 curveballs and then a fastball upstairs out of the strike zone.
So now the Mets are down to their final out. Tyrone Taylor's been up twice in this game, hit 2 bullets, both of which were caught. One by Grisham, one by Schumann. And Taylor gets a first pitch breaking ball, hits it deep down the line toward the pole, and it's out of here! Out of here! Tyrone Taylor ties the game with a 3-run homer.
Wow.
Fun home run of the year for Taylor, who had nothing to show for 2 hard hit balls in his first 2 at-bats. Jumps on the first pitch he sees from Bednar and brings the house down with a 3-run game-tying home run. Oh, wow.
Yeah, put the jacket on. That's a big one.
And now Brett Beatty with 2 out and nobody on. And Beatty takes the curveball down for ball 1.
He threw Vientos 2 nasty hooks, and look at this hanger. Right on a tee.
When you snap a pitcher's head back like that, he knew that he got you.
Beatty is 1 for 4 today. He's ahead in the count 2-0. Brett has 2 home runs this year. Only the second home run Bednar has allowed this season, and the Mets have come from 4 runs down to get even.
They've come back again.
And that's ball 3. The Mets have not come from 4 runs down to win this year. Devin Williams is up in the bullpen getting ready for a possible 10th inning. Bednar had not given up a 3-run homer since April of 2024, more than 2 years ago, until Taylor got him.
He threw a helicopter up there.
3-0 to Beatty, and he takes ball 4, and now the winning run is aboard with Marcus Semien coming up.
Would you run for Beatty here? Brujan have enough to steal a base? Extra innings, he might not come up again?
You got Brujan.
I don't know, just thinking out loud. Boy, to hit 2 bullets, have nothing to show for it, and then catch this hanging slider. Good for Tyrone. Deserved it.
No more popular player in that clubhouse than Tyrone Taylor.
I don't. There you go.
Leading off with a single.
You know, we talk about a game of redeeming features. Taylor had a couple of defensive plays that he could have made that might have cost the Mets in that big inning for the Yankees, but he redeems himself in a big way. Now Semien, who had an RBI double in the 4th, he's 2 for 4 today. Beatty the winning run at first with 2 down. And Semien swings and misses, 0-1. The second blown save this year for David Bednar. And now trying to get the game to the 10th. Big hole on the right side for Semien. He takes that one well outside. Ball and a strike. A.J. Ewing would be next. The Yankees 6 runs, 6 hits. The Mets 6 runs and 11 hits. And Semien tried to hold and foul tipped it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Beatty leads from first with 2 out. 1-2 to Semien. And he flies one along the right field side. Rice circling in foul ground, and he's got it. And the inning ends, and we go to extra innings. Tyrone Taylor brings the Mets back from the brink. Mets were 4 runs down. Tyrone Taylor's 3-run homer gets the Mets even in the bottom of the 9th. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Genesis. Discover the award-winning lineup of Genesis SUVs and sedans at your local tri-state Genesis retailer. By Tunnel to Towers, donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with the Car Orlando Nation at T2T.org. By Suffolk Credit Union, be a HELOC hero at Suffolk Credit Union. By Heineken, proud partner of the New York Mets. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. And by your local Honda dealers, contact your local Honda dealer today. This is the Mets' 46th game of the year, already their 9th extra inning game. Devin Williams got the save yesterday, looking to hold the fort in the 10th.
He's in a lot of run in his last 8 appearances.
Max Schumann up for the 2nd time. Mets look for the bunt. Ryan McMahon, the free runner. Schumann squares but gets out of the way. Ball 1. McMahon not a speedster at second base. Schumann drew a 4-pitch walk from Sean Manaea in the 7th after he came in as a pinch runner.
Let him swing away here.
Why not?
Vientos on the grass, Beatty on the cutout. And Schumann squares and takes outside 2-0.
Yankees have fired so many of their bullpen bullets already that you'd think you'd want to get at least a couple of points here in the top of the 10th.
2-0, he's got to throw a strike there. Beatty's in at the corner, and so is Vientos aggressively.
Schumann's yet to see a strike. 4-pitch walk first time, and now he finally sees a strike. 2-1. And he's squaring oddly.
Yeah.
You know, he's not really giving himself up.
He doesn't turn around. He kind of makes sure he just kind of pivots his feet. But he's trying to bunt it towards Beatty.
Volpe on deck, and then Wells. Corner's still in, and he squares and takes a strike, and now it's 2-2.
What's he looking for?
He's looking for the hit sign on 2 strikes.
Gee, if he's working on taking a bunt, then he's doing a good job.
Not going to make your manager very happy.
Williams worked a 1-2-3 ninth yesterday for his 6th save of the year. 2-2 coming, and Schumann pounds one into the ground foul. Sean Manaea wound up going 4 innings in relief. He threw 57 pitches, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, a hit by pitch. So Williams only the 3rd Met pitcher of the day. The Yankees have already used 6. McMahon at second, the free runner. 2-2 to Schumann, who asked for time.
Now the Yankees are 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position in this Wago.
Two from Williams. Change up, pulled foul. That's a 4-4 in extra inning games this year. Their 9th extra inning game, the most of any team in the majors. The Yankees have already only played 2 extra inning games, and they've lost them both. Williams threw 12 pitches in his 1-2-3 inning yesterday. 7th pitch of the at bat, and Schumann goes down on the changeup for the first out of the 10th.
Does not advance the runner.
There's the grip. Really, the air bender really pronates it and turns it over.
Almost a sidearm delivery.
I mean, it's like a screwball.
Yeah,
it is.
100%.
So now Anthony Volpe, who's had himself a terrific game today.
That's a little out in front, don't you think?
Volpe has a single, a double, a walk. He's driven in 3 runs today. And he swings and misses at first pitch fastball. 0-1.
Big overswing from Volpe there.
Yesterday, the former Yankees all had big days for the Mets. Soto and Weaver and Williams. Williams trying to do it again. The runner takes off, and the pitch outside. McMahon steals 3rd without a throw.
That should never happen.
Well, the Mets weren't holding him close. That's the first error. Williams is easier to run on. No one's there.
Why not? As you're telling him, inviting him to steal.
Infield comes in. 1-1 pitch, and Volpe takes it high. 2-1. Only the 2nd stolen base of the year for McMahon. This is only the 2nd time this year that Williams has worked on back-to-back days. 2 balls and a strike to Volpe. Infield in. And it's outside, ball 3. Now a walk to Volpe would set up the double play with Austin Wells on deck. A double play candidate.
Volpe trying to win his position back.
3-1 from Williams. And he swings through that one. 3-2.
Volpe can't cover that outside corner. He's had a tough time reaching for that outside corner. Well, the infield's in, and Bichette is not on the dirt at all. He's around a foot on the grass. That's playing in.
3-2 to Volpe. Up and away, ball 4. That's the 9th walk issued by Met pitchers today. Volpe walking for the 7th time in this 3-game series. Carlos Mendoza out for a strategy session with runners at first and third. What do you do if Volpe takes off?
Well, if you're the Yankees, you're thinking to yourself, they didn't pay any attention to McMahon. Maybe they won't be paying any attention if we decide to do one of those college plays, right? To run the player on first, try to double steal. McMahon, good speed, not great speed. Volpe's got good speed, not great speed.
You got Wells up there now, who's just been
scuffling.
Oh boy, he's just been really having a hard time making contact.
Volpe had 18 steals last year. He had 28 the year before.
Potential squeeze? I doubt it, but Beatty is playing back a little bit.
That's going to play the middle infielders halfway. McMahon at third, Volpe at first, one out. Wells at a comebacker is only a bat in this game. And he goes after the first one, grounds it to Vientos, to second for one, back to first, double play, side retired. Mark Vientos starts the 3-6-3 double play to get Williams through the top of the 10th. And now the Mets will try to win it in the bottom with Semien the free runner and Ewing set to lead off. 6-6 going to the bottom of the 10th. A.J. Ewing will lead off the last of the 10th for New York. Mets trying to do something they have not done the last 2 seasons. Mark Vientos with a terrific play to start the 3-6-3 double play.
Well, it's a tailor-made double play. Vientos has learned to really get rid of that ball quickly and put some mustard on the throw, and he's been getting back to the bat.
Love the reaction.
Last year and this year combined, the Mets are 0-91 when they trail after 8 innings. They've got a chance to win one today thanks to the heroics of Tyrone Taylor, who had a 3-run homer at the bottom of the 9th against David Bednar to get the Mets to extra inning. Now the Mets will have Marcus Semien as the free runner at second, with A.J. Ewing to lead off against the side-arming lefty Tim Hill.
Hill's tough on lefties. Will Ewing be asked to bunt? We have not seen him square around yet.
I think they're going to ask him to bunt.
Yep.
That's a big run out there, and this is a big game for the Mets to win, obviously. To keep the party going, keep the momentum going.
Ewing has been on base all 4 times today. The corners pinch in against him. And he does square and bunts and misses, nothing in 1.
It's a little late squaring there. You got to get around real early on Hill so you can really eyeball it in.
Hill throws mostly sinkers 82% of the time. Chisholm vacated very early from second base. Maybe Semien would think about trying to steal third if he leaves too early. 0-1 to Ewing. He squares, lays off, and it's outside. A ball and a strike.
That was nice. He squared around a lot earlier and gave him a chance to really eyeball that pitch in.
A.J. Ewing never had a sacrifice bunt in the minor leagues. So being asked to do it for the first time at the major league level.
It'll make you nervous, Garrett.
Austin Wells flashing signals to the infield about how they're going to play the bunt.
And it's not easy. I mean, it's against Hill, throwing 3/4. If anyone get it done, though, it's this kid.
Boy, they in tight on the corners.
Rice comes in even closer at first base. Would you be tempted to let him swing? He gets the bunt down. Nicely done. Wells throws him out, but over to third base goes Semien. First professional sacrifice for A.J. Ewing, and it gets the winning run to third base.
You just have belief in this kid that he's going to get it done. He's a ball player.
A single, 3 walks, and now a sacrifice for A.J. Ewing.
Look at the level bat, Ronnie.
I mean, he might not have a sacrifice. That is perfect form.
Now, if you're the Yankees, do you walk Torrens to pitch to Benj to give him a lefty-lefty matchup?
That's a good one. You can't walk the bases loaded because you're going to walk the bases loaded and have Soto come up. So it's one or the other here.
And you're not going to be able to double off a Benj. I mean, double play.
The Yankees are going to go with 5 infielders. Schumann comes in. and he's going to play in the middle of the diamond. So 3 infielders on the left side. Now they're going to move Schumann over to the right.
They should move him to the right.
They should definitely move him to the right. He's looking in the dugout where to go.
So a 5-man infield, all drawn in. Schumann playing the step to the left of second. And Torrens the batter, and Torrens, I think, is going to say that Schumann's in his sight line.
Can't move the defender. He can stay wherever he wants.
Well, as long as he's to one side of the bag or the other, right? Torrens on a 2-run double as a pinch hitter in the 6th. Now looking for the walk-off. Only 2 outfielders. Nobody in left field. Grisham is playing over in right center, and Bellinger is playing toward the right field line. They're both shallow. Nobody in left field.
So they're playing 2 in the right.
1-0 to Torrens, and he lines one for that. Got ahead of that, trying to pull the ball with nobody in left field. Had the right idea.
So it's interesting how they got the 2 outfielders on the right side, but they overloaded 3 on the left side on the infield.
I mean, you just have to hit a fly ball to the left, and the game's over. Semien in third, 1 out. That's outside the Torrens, 2-1.
This is how you played the outfield as a kid when you didn't have enough participants.
Torrens has 2 walk-off RBIs, none as a Met. And he fouls it off, and Hill gets even 2-2.
Boy, he had a pitch to hit there, just under the bat.
Carson Bench on deck. Semien in third with 1 out. And Hill wants a conversation with Austin Wells. He's having trouble with his pitch count.
That's what you need, right?
Bellinger in right field is really shallow, and I think that's the right play.
No question. You only want to be as deep as you can throw anyway.
And if he has to come in on take away a base hit, runner in third is going to have to hold.
Torrens working against a 5-man infield with no left fielder. Hill working without a net with the winning run at third and 1 out. 2-2 to Torrens. That's inside and hit him. And that'll put runners at first and third. So instead of walking him intentionally, they wind up hitting him with a pitch. Well, second Met to get hit today, and that sets up the double play possibility, but you really can't play at double play depth to bench up.
Just caught a piece of the equipment that he wears on his elbow.
So Carson Bench, who already has a walk-off RBI on this homestand. He got the 9th inning rally started with a base hit to left center. And now looking to get the winning run home at the bottom of the 10th. And they're going to keep the 5-man infield. They're going to move Schumann to the right side of second base. And they're going to move the outfielders to left and center. So Bellinger's going to go to left, and Grisham stays in center. Nobody in right on the pull side. And Bench swings and misses at a first pitch fastball. He was just looking to try and pull. Get that ball into the outfield on the right field. Game's over.
All you got to do is play it up the middle, Garrett. Inside out a fly ball.
Semien at third, Torrens at first, and Bench chops one. In comes Schumann. He runs into his own man, and the Mets win the ball game. Carson Bench with his second walk-off RBI in the homestand. The Mets come from 4 runs down to win. They win a game they trailed after 8 for the first time in 2 years. A monumental victory for the Mets as they take 2 out of 3 from the Yankees and finish a 5-1 homestand. The biggest win for the Mets this year as they overcome all sorts of adversity and come from 4 runs down to beat the Yankees. Tyrone Taylor a hero. Devin Williams a hero. And Carson Benz with the walk-off RBI, his second on the homestand.
Well, you called it, Garrett. This is the biggest win of the season for the Mets right here.
You know, some of the adversity was of their own making in a sloppy sixth, and the 5 infielders for the Yankees proved to be one too many.
And if Volpe doesn't run into Schumann, does he have a play at the plate?
Would have been close.
Would have been close.
They're scoring at a fielder's choice because he certainly could have gotten it out at first, but never threw the ball home. Carson Benz has the game winner, and the Mets have a 5-1 homestand. And all of a sudden, they're only 6 games under 500 and have some momentum behind them as they head to Washington to open a series tomorrow night. Today's win is brought to you by Moomoo. Download the app for access to exclusive Mets perks and smarter trading. Moomoo Financial Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. There's your summary. Tyrone Taylor out of the blue with the game-tying 3-run homer off David Bednar in the 9th. As the Mets somehow win this game in 10 innings over the Yankees.
Look, Ewing on base 4 times before that sacrifice bunt that he put down like he had been bunting forever. Carson Benz with, he got the rally started in the 9th inning on a great at-bat again and then gets the walk-off. These guys have infused some energy, but then you see some collective, contributions up and down the lineup as well, and never say die. That's one thing that you're seeing out of this team right now. Earlier in the season when they were in their struggles, if they got down by 2 or 3 runs, it felt like the game was over. Right. Now, even if they get down by 2 or 3 runs to good teams, you're like, they still could have a chance to come back. Every game in the last series that they swept, they were leading. They were behind by multiple runs. Today, again, it never feels like it's over, and you